Hey Thrive Loud listeners, are you down and out during these cold winter months? Is your daily routine getting a little boring? Do you need something that gets you motivated? Well then get up from what you're doing and get the blood flowing. Hit the gym, go for a hike in the cold, go for a run, do something. And while you're out there, pop in your headphones, load up your podcast app, and get inspired with the amazing content Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond has for you. Us interns at Thrive Loud are working our tails off to pull together these great shows to bring you some incredible content, and you are missing out if you're not listening. Download it, subscribe to it, share the heck out of it on social media. It's great stuff. It's not just about listening. The show is called Thrive Loud, people, so get to it and start thriving as loud as you can by listening to all of these inspiring episodes. Today on Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond.
I left New York December 10th, 2013, on a mission to educate the world about cannabis after my Aunt Kathy had passed away.
Get ready to Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond, and today on Thrive Loud, we have a woman that left on a soul mission to educate the world about cannabis. Now that mission has turned into a viable business, multiple contracts with television, the ongoing creation of cannabis content with mainstream and industry distribution opportunities. Her company, 420 or 420 Media, was created specifically for the cannabis industry to showcase their brands and products through high-end digital content, integrated marketing, advertising, PR, and websites. Thrive Loud fans, kick back, relax, and get ready to chat with Kerri Accordi. Kerri, how are you today?
I'm awesome. I love that intro. Thank you.
So Kerri has an interesting story because while we're going to have fun and we've actually had people who've educated us on the cannabis industry before, we haven't had this slant in it where it's related to specifically promoting and marketing a lot of these great new businesses that are coming up. But your journey on how you got here is really personal. So if you could, Kerri, share with the Thrive Loud listeners your story and I will interject accordingly. Sound good?
Yeah, awesome. Perfect. So basically I left New York December 10th, 2013, on a mission to educate the world about cannabis after my Aunt Kathy had passed away.
And she had been sick for a while? Was she had cancer?
No, she had cancer. Okay. And no, unfortunately it wasn't a while. It was less than a year from diagnosis that she was dead.
Oh, wow. So sorry.
Yeah, it was horrible. And the worst thing about it was the plant could have helped her, and it did help her towards the end. And what I found myself fighting more was the propaganda that was, given earlier in life, right? Reefer madness, this stigma against this plant, cannabis, when the reality is cannabis has been used in our medicines up until the 1930s. We have a system created called the endocannabinoid system that regulates all the other systems in our bodies. So we have receptors for the plant in our body, CB1 and CB2. And while this plant can bring all these benefits to us, and I'm not going to get into that too much, my aunt was scared to use it because of the repercussions, because of, what people would think or what was going to happen legally. Would she have a job? Would she be able to, any money related? I mean, all these wild things. And then I found myself in doctor's offices with her dealing with the same thing to a point where, I felt like I was drowning trying to give doctors knowledge, and it was mind blowing. And so, I'm a trained actress. I'm a producer. I'm a director, and I was really fortunate to know someone that was in the cannabis space, and he owned a collective, which is called, another word is dispensary, up in Northern California. Mm-hmm. And so I went up there and I learned how to grow. I went to political council meetings and I sat with lawyers and lobbyists and patients. And in January of 2014, New York quasi-legalized through executive order. And I decided to start 420 Media, which at that time was going to be a video production company to showcase the plant for the miracles she is. So that's really, initially how it started. I was fighting in the hospital. They were blocking out information literally off the computers. I was trying to, show the plant as medicine. And really it was, just, kids smoking bong hits or kind of Rasta, and just not in the sense of medicine. And I love my Rastas and I love bong hits and all that stuff. But, it was really about the perception. Here I was trying to share with my family, and I have a huge family, that this plant was medicine. That what happened was, after I got through to one of my uncles, he did have my aunt say yes to be getting them cannabis oil. And so I was able to get her oil. Unfortunately, it was the day before she decided to go to hospice. But that night, it was September 19th, I gave her about a rice-sized drop of cannabis oil. And prior to that, she had been throwing up nonstop for about 5 days, and she had a lip sore on her lip for about 2.5 weeks, which was a $150,000 bill. By the next day that I gave her the oil, her lip sore was almost completely gone, and she never threw up again till her death, which was October 2nd. And so it was working. I'm in this now I'm on 5 years now. So I've seen, anything from stage 3 brain cancer, to, nothing within 6 months, to veterans being able to walk out of wheelchairs, to reversing type 2 diabetes. The gamut of what this plant can do for people is astounding. And the fact that that it is illegal or somewhat still illegal, and definitely on a federal schedule, is criminal. So I work on teaching people this stuff.
And this is great. So I'm going to go on 2 fronts. First, I'm going to talk about what you're capturing in 420 Media, because we'll share that part of the story, and then we'll start to get towards what's happening, because obviously we are making steps, even since your aunt passed away, towards a path where we're every day and every few months, more states, more legal regulation is happening in a way that's making it much more attainable and much more accepted. But first, I want to focus on what 420 Media is covering. So talk to me about what you're capturing in the business that you're doing, because it's not just marketing new companies, it's also educating people, correct?
Yeah, so I've been really, really busy the past 5 years, like nonstop. So to start in most recent, 2 weeks ago, 420 Media launched the first educational cannabis commercial during primetime TV in the Los Angeles market on Bravo, Discovery, and History Channel. So that was a huge, huge moment for us, for the industry, and for people in their homes starting to get this information to them.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. It was really awesome. It is really awesome. And we're taking this across the country. That was just the beginning. And it was really, so I knew they were going to air. I've been down this road before with television. So basically, so 420 Media is an agency. 420 Media creates, like I said, the digital content, digital strategy, content, and distribution. In the past 4.5 years, we've also been documenting the industry. So for example, there's a event called the Seattle Hemp Fest that's been around just went on its 27th year. We started filming there. I have over 4 years filmed there. I have people from Gary Johnson, Tina Hendricks, patients, politicians, nurses. I mean, the top level of anyone in this industry. So we have 4 years of that. We have 4 years of a New York conference. I've had multiple television opportunities through this. So we've been planning to launch an online TV network. So essentially I have a series hosted by a former NFL player named Marvin Washington. He used to play for the Jets and won a Super Bowl with the Broncos.
Right.
So he hosts a show called Fifth Quarter. And so basically we have Marv in different interviews with other athletes. I have him with an athlete, Boo Williams, talking about cannabis, football, suicide. We have him in a lab learning how to make CBD, learning about the benefits straight from a doctor. We have him in different interviews with other doctors and experts. We have another show called Nurse Talk that's hosted by 2 RN nurses, very similar to like The View or The Talk, really breaking down the plant and our bodies. How does it work? And really addressing, you know, what those issues are with the plant and how we can help. We have a business series. We have a series from mothers talking about their children and how this has affected them. And so, there's that part of the agency, which has been creating content. That will be to launch an online TV network, which is dedicated to cannabis. So essentially a Netflix of cannabis. If you want to learn about it,
yeah.
you know. Oh, so there's the thing about what I learned about cannabis is, number one, it's one of the fastest growing industries in the country, if not the world. So if we want to look at it on a business level, it can change the face of our country economically. It can bring, they're starting to bring classes into colleges now. If we add in the hemp plant, you're talking about literally conceive the world with this plant. It oxidizes the air. You can make fabrics. You can create houses. There's a car made of hemp. You can eat it. These are the most nutritional values that food that you can get. So, you know, skincare. So you're talking about it's hitting every level of business as well as health benefits, right? Mm-hmm. And so when you're looking at cannabis, while I say I did start because I believe in the healing and the medicine, I learned that not everyone does. And that was the whole point of creating the network, is not everyone cared about that kid dying or being saved, but they care about their bank account, or they care about their politics or their freedoms. You know, whatever it is, if we get to someone with what they care about, they pay attention. And what I have learned is they change. It's crazy.
So here's the thing, Kerri, it's really interesting. We had this wonderful woman named Sylvie Beljanski on the program, who actually wrote a book called The War on Cancer. And a lot of it is all of these natural causes in the environment to use to help prevent cancer-related, basically helping the mutation of the cancer gene to be stimulated. And while a lot of these things help to heal it, there are a lot of things that can help prevent it. So there's all and a lot of the battles that she went through were obviously from the synthetic pharmaceutical companies who are creating the drugs to help fight this. And there's been lots of reasons why the bottom line has made it challenging for all of this to happen. But now, as to your point, that this industry has recognized that there's tremendous growth potential. There's tremendous tax potential. To your point earlier in the interview, that there's an unbelievable opportunity to help with the economy because it's such a large industry across the board. Mm-hmm. It's obviously gaining more and more acceptance and probably way long overdue. Okay, so from someone who's sitting maybe a little bit more alert as to what's happening, share with the Thrive Loud fans. We know at the time that you left New York, it not only was not legal, not even the medicinal side was legal. A lot has changed in that interim. How up to speed are you on all the states that are getting to the point, whether it's for recreational or for medicinal uses, that they're increasing their legality for allowing them to have it?
Yeah, I think it's legal medicinally in 32 states right now. Right. Nine full. When I started, it was just went into legalization, which was Washington and Colorado. They added in Oregon and Alaska. We have California, Maine. DC has interesting laws. I believe Vermont is legal now. And so it's growing, and everyone has their different, I don't know, every market is different. That's what I've learned, and every state has their own laws. So we need it off the Schedule 1 drug. And I've just recently learned that because it's on a Schedule 1, so Schedule 1 means it has no medicinal value. It's almost like heroin. And at the same time, the government has a patent on cannabis for its neuroprotectants and antioxidants. Number 6630507. You can look it up. And so here we live in this hypocrisy, right? I mean, you have it on a Schedule 1 drug, no medicinal benefit, putting people in jail, ruining lives, and you have it on as a patent. Well, I recently learned that also when you don't have it, when you have just got a medical marijuana card, I know a couple that wanted to adopt a child, really good couple, money, good people, everything, and found out because the father had a medical marijuana card, they can't even go for an adoption because it's federally illegal. And so this has way big repercussions. Banking, there's hardly any banking going on. Yet, make no mistake, this is going to be legal. They're running it through pharma. I mean, I think they just came out with Epidiolex that just became approved as a CBD. I forget the exact wording on it, but they're charging somewhere around $32,000 a year. Right? $32,000 a year on a plant we can grow in our backyard. And they're not even using the full plant. They're isolating, which is not giving you the full benefit. So yeah, I mean, this is systematic in our country, really, and goes into what Sylvia, I think you said her name was talking about with natural herbs. I mean, you can go back into Leotril, which is apricot seeds. My grandmother died when she was 42 years old, and she believed in this. They tried making those illegal. What is it? The Gerson therapy, another juicing and coffee enemas. They tried going after them. They tried going after Brzezinski. I mean, if you follow any of it, if it helps you, they're going after it. But yet we're doping kids up at 5 years old. My teacher friends are telling me they're putting them on, drugs because they're out of control, when really they just need to run around in their backyard. So I think, we're losing perspective here. And I think that people are so used to just taking a pill for everything. I'll take this and take this and take this, right? And we take no responsibility for ourselves, our own health, our own mind. And I think that, we're seeing what's happening by that. And you can see it in people's weight. You can see it in their thoughts. You can see it in our politics. I mean, we don't even, you can see it's just unbelievable. And to me, cannabis is as important as food, and it is food, by the way. You can grow it and you pick it off your leaves and eat it. And so I think that, as well as hemp, like I was saying, we need to wake up. We need to just really wake up as society and really start to take responsibility. So I don't know. For me, I've never been in this position before. Something happened when my aunt died that just, it pushed me to fight for this plant. And this is my fight. Cannabis is my fight. While I can get into all sorts of politics with people, this is the lane I choose to be in, because no one's ever died.
Yeah.
We have receptors made for it. It literally creates what they call apoptosis, which is cancer cell death. We're watching children from 300 seizures a day to 0. Right? And why are we blocking that? And then if we go into the history, it's actually I can tell you, it was blocked because of hemp. It was actually over paper. It was actually because of money. Right? And then it went into a whole, array of things from Nixon to war on drugs to Nancy Reagan's, this is your brain and this is your brain on drugs. No, it's not. It's an egg in a frying pan. That's what it is. Right. So we've lost this way, and I'm just like, no, I think we can look at it this way. I do.
Wait, I want to jump in. Listen. Yeah, no, and this is a great point, because and what your message is. So this is an interesting part. All the things that you talked about that were the propaganda or the way to communicate, which by the way was fighting, as we learned years later, it was a money story. Money was going out of the country and it wasn't going where it should be. And we needed to stop it because, hey, the US wasn't benefiting. And that was a marketing story. You at 420 Media are sitting in a marketing space to help educate brands, marketing, advertising, PR for all the companies that are within this space to help them get their message out across. So this is like, it's actually an interesting spot that you're addressing here is this is a re-education and a re-communication for those to help them understand, can we take something that's helping people and recognize that? And as that continues to grow, we will kind of counteract that other story. And oh, by the way, it will start to, the scales will certainly tip because everyone already knows there's VC money, private equity money, family office money being dumped into all the upstarts of what the industry could be. A lot of places like, that are still trying to figure it out. And so I wanted to rewind a little bit. Did you have a marketing and branding expertise before you started 420 Media?
No.
Okay. So this came out this literally just came out of nowhere. What was before your Anna passed away?
I'm a filmmaker. I'm a storyteller.
Okay.
I'm an actress. I'm a producer, and I recognize the story, and I watch people and what people watch, and they watch TV and computers and what people say to them. Even when I film with doctors, I make them wear their white coat, and I tell them, "We'll put the white coat on," because they listen to the white coat, right? And so
Did I lose you?
Buffalo soldier, dread like a rasta.
Hey, hear me?
Yeah, now I
don't know why
okay.
it's
Continue back. You're talking about the lab coat.
Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. Oh, yeah. So basically, it's perceptions, right? Everything's about the perception and what people they see. And what I was seeing when I came to the West Coast was not what I saw in the East Coast, and I felt that the people had to understand this plant. I learned to literally grow that plant, and I would cry, just sit there amongst these beautiful, beautiful flowers, these plants, and cry, talking to my aunt, saying, "This is what you were scared of. This is what you were scared of." And yet a doctor can say, "Hey, take this pill, and then take this pill to counteract that pill's effects on that pill, and then take this pill on top of that." And people go, "Okay." Right? Or we watch pharmaceutical commercials with people walking hand in hand down the beach, and they tell you side effects include diarrhea, heart attack, killing someone. But what do? We still go buy it, right? That doctor said to get it. Doctor said it. And so we have to educate the doctors, really, it's educating the doctors and the nurses. And unfortunately, again, going back into the Schedule 1, we can't educate them until we get it out off of that schedule, because their jobs are dependent on following the law.
We know you're loving this amazing interview on Thrive Loud and how Lou is connecting with our guest. If you want to learn the skills Lou speaks about to audiences all over the world, head on over to loudiamond.net and order a copy of Lou's best-selling book, Master the Art of Connecting. Once you master how to connect, you'll thrive loud too. Okay, back to the show.
So, Kerri, I love asking this question of all the Thrive Loud guests, and I'm curious to know where this goes. When you personally are having trouble thriving, who or what practice do you seek to get yourself back on the thriving track, whether that's you or 420 Media and all the different stuff you have? What do you use to get yourself back on your A game?
Yoga.
Okay.
Working out, meditation, and really like the biggest thing I use is my why. Truly, why I even got involved in this space, why I started a business, why I do podcasts, and as hard as this is, and it's hard being an entrepreneur. I mean, it really is, especially like I feel good now because it's been a long journey and we aired on TV, so it's cool, but it's hard. And I just would close my eyes and remember my aunt's face laying in the hospital bed. And I thought, well, there was nothing as hard as that. And then boom, it was up. And so I think it's really important, though, to take care of our minds and our bodies, you know, and of course, cannabis. I use cannabis a lot.
So do me a favor. Let's give all the plugs right now, all the places where people can learn about you, 420 Media, so that they can get more familiar with all the places where you are, social media, links, etc., websites. This is your chance to plug them.
Yeah. Perfect. Our website is 420media.us. Our social media is the same, usually at 420_media. That's on Twitter, Instagram, 420 Media on Facebook. My name is Kerri, Kerri Accordi, Accardi. You can find me on LinkedIn. And my email is Kerri, Kerri, at 420media.us. And I'm happy to talk to people.
And I will gladly send all the links for all this so people can reach out to Kerri. And Kerri, we love to sign up every show. And by the way, thank you for sharing your story. The reason we love people that come back from certain instances in their lives and follow that passion every day. That's what Thrive Loud is all about. So we're very excited to have you on. We also like to learn a little bit about you yourself. So I've got two more questions. I'll give the standard Thrive Loud question first. What is your all-time favorite movie?
Forrest Gump.
Any specific reason why?
You know, it's like that saying, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And I don't know, you know, I just, it's perseverance maybe, going after things, freedom, free will. I don't know. It's fun. I don't know. It's just an old one that I like it.
And here's the next question. So when we have Kerri Accordi back on the show in, let's say, 3 years, what would make you happy as it relates to the legalization of marijuana and cannabis, obviously, of cannabis across the U.S.? What number, like, I guess if the states were % of it, what would make you happy?
Well, I would like to see us, you know, legal globally, truly, and not as regulated in a sense that's harming the true players. I think there's a lot of things that are turning into finance, and I would like to see the plant thrive herself for the amazing, you know, plant that she is, whether that be, well, I say she, cannabis is she, hemp is the male.
Right.
You know, just really the freedom to grow it, to eat it, to grow in your backyard. I don't want to have to call someone if I want to grow a plant, you know, like I want to grow tomatoes. So I'd like to see it free. I'd like to see entrepreneurs come in and really push to innovate new products. I think this is a real, this is a time like never before, very similar to the internet before the internet, except bigger. I really think it's bigger. And so I want to see, you know, this plant thrive. And I believe people will get wealthy, really, really wealthy by getting people healthy. And that's cool.
Kerri Accordi, truly a pleasure having you on Thrive Loud. Thank you for your time. Thanks for your passion. And it was great having you on.
Thank you. It's been great.
And to all the Thrive Loud listeners out there, until next time, keep thriving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes, Overcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. And follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Thrive Loud. Or find us on the web at thriveloud.com.